All right, whoa, we're back. We're back
real fast.
Yeah. All right, didn't mean to keep it, but you know.
4 beers later, we're back.
we really don't want to get a director's count because YouTube is fucking full of bullshit. So we're just gonna keep these under 10 minutes and break it up in segments. So anyway, the part of the movie we're talking about, Lex Luthor, he finds the dildo cave. I mean, the Fortress of Solitude, and he goes in there, and he's got a whole bunch of cronies and henchmen
that are all some like if you
know
Luthor is as powerful as he is, he runs around with the stupidest people. There's some broads that can't even like support themselves. I don't even like
some welfare moms.
So
the whole thing was a remake of the first one. How Gene Hackman hits a dingy broad sidekick.
Yeah, which is lame. Like Singer takes the worst aspects and remakes them.
Yeah.
By the way, Singer really wanted to make this movie because he was a super big Superman fan.
That's what he didn't really say he was a Superman fan, because I saw him on Larry King Live about a week before the movie came out, and he was there with Brandon, Ruth, or Ralph, whatever the fuck, and Kevin Spacey, and like he was the first one to say like, I don't read comic books, but if I did, bro, but Superman was all the time. like if you don't read comic books, but
you keep raping comic book franchises,
you don't read comic books, but all you make is comic book movies.
Yeah. Well, he can't give you another Usual Suspects.
It's just Bryan Singer's just a big pussy, because what happens is he goes in the studio and he's like, let's make a superhero movie because I know it'll be a cheap hit because it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. People still run to see it and blah, blah, blah. So, like, the studio is like, all right, now, we're going to make a superhero movie. But here are the rules, Bryan Singer. He can't be in the suit at all. He can't be... And Bryan Singer just spends over, just like the X-Men movies. He comes in, he's like, I've never really read an X-Men comic book, but I want to make the movie because that pupil bombed and I almost got sued because I made some 16-year-old get naked in a shower stall. And, the new catchphrase for 2006, if you don't believe us on that, just Google it. Google it. Yeah. Look at Bryan Singer. He made some, like, what was it, 18-year-old kid get naked?
I think he was younger than 18.
Was he? Like, they're doing, like, a shower scene that took place in a high school, and some kid was, like, came in to be an extra, and they're doing a big shower scene. Like, they wanted the kid naked, like, really show his ass on camera. He's like, you know, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'm not sure if I can go through this. No! And Bryan Singer's like, I want the kid naked. I want him naked. Yeah. So, like, he tells the assistant director, and the assistant director's like, you're going to drop these drawers. I got the director of Usual Suspects over here, and he just wants to see naked ass. Like, if the kid says he doesn't want to be naked, let him go home, get somebody else who will do it.
Man, you tell Kevin Spacey to take his clothes off.
He's going to do it. I'm kind of Soze, look at my dick.
So, enough actors.
But no, that's Bryan Singer's MO. Let's make a superhero movie. So, like, what did Fox do? They're like, okay, first rule, because you love X-Men so much, guess what? They're not going to have any fucking suits. They're not going to have any superhero costumes. He's like, fucking, that's alright. Who wants to see Wolverine in a suit? And they're like, second of all, fucking, you know, nothing from the comic book can really be the same, and we gotta fucking twist up every stupid storyline. Say, fucking, I don't care, fuck X-Men, fuck your X-Men. And he's like, whatever, I'll make money. So, like, everybody who comes to X-Men movies are, like, fucking great. Obviously, I haven't read an X-Men comic book because they're fucking garbage. Like, not only, I'm not saying, like, it's garbage just because it's not like the comic book, but they took stuff that was decent in the comic book and some of the best stuff, and they
God kills, or men kill, God saves.
Like,
fuck the storyline.
Like, they just fucked everything up just to make the movie cheaper, because Fox didn't want to spend more than $100 million on some big blockbuster.
This is true. The Sentinels?
Yeah, the Sentinels turned out to be a SWAT team, apparently.
You can thank Brett Ratner for bringing you a Sentinel.
Everybody's giving Brett Ratner shit like, oh my god, Bryan Singer, the god of fucking comic book movies, who never read a comic book in his life, has left X-Men. Listen, Brett Ratner did the best he could. He didn't write the script. He didn't have any script.
He had like 2 days to film a movie.
Because Layer Cake fucker ran out the door once he realized it was a train wreck.
Yeah.
So, fucking what happens, he comes on, he tries to make the best movie. Let me tell you what fucking Brett Ratner was trying to do when he's making X-Men 3. He was trying to fucking pull the dick out of the X-Men franchise. That fucking, all the idiots at Fox and Bryan Singer showed up and, like, he was fighting, dude. He's like, I know it can only be for 2 seconds, but let me have the danger room. It's the last movie. And Fox is like, no, do you know how much money that's going to cost?
For that danger room.
Yeah. And fucking they're like, we already spent $400 grand on Hugh Jackman's wigs for this movie. We can't want to be able to.
He gave you a danger room. He brought you a Sentinel, even though there's little
like
Ben running around the X-Men shit that fucking Wolverine was slicing up. We're supposed to be Sentinels in the first one. But trust me, you read it, they're like, Sentinels are going to be guys wearing bulletproof vests this time. Because if God saves men kill, or whatever the storyline X-Men is, that little fucking, whatever, old man, what's the fucking actor's name? I can't even.
Patrick Stewart?
No, not the old.
Ian McKellen?
No, the other old man, the guy, Brian Cox.
The real I saw Brian Cox on Sunset one time coming out of the body shop. He's fucking drunk from getting some lappers. And he had a fucking t-shirt on, looked like he got made a Velvet machine that said, I'm the real Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, yeah. Real Hannibal Lecter. His character brought you Sentinels to get rid of the X-Men, or you mutants in general. But, you know, they screwed that storyline up. They tried to make it some fake Weapon X.
But anyway, that's just what Bryan Singer does. He's like, whatever the studio says, hey, this is how you do it, you make it cheaper, he bends over. That's how much he loves comic books. Let's get back to Superman Returns. Fucking.
So Luthor comes up with this big plot. He steals Superman's crystals, and Superman doesn't know. He gets back to the Fortress of Solitude. He's like, whoa, something's missing. And then, you know, there's a bunch of mojo. There's a bunch of shit that happened in the middle. I'm trying to remember.
Just a bunch of bullshit. It's like fucking Cyclops shows up. And fucking Cyclops comes to the movie and is like, I don't care about this baby who's always wheezing and has asthma and shit. And you fucking whore, you go on the roof and smoke.
Yeah, Superman, he goes to Lois. He wants to give her this interview that she's trying not to get, quote unquote.
I'm Superman. He made my career. He fucked me. Superman fucked me and flew off to another planet. I'm bitter.
Yeah, and you know, she's getting ready to, I think on the night of her Pulitzer or whatever, like, you know, I'm skipping all major plots. She gets his interview with Superman. Superman's like, I didn't tell you because I cared too much. And then they had some little flyaway scene, once again stolen from the original Superman remake. And, you know, whatever. I don't even think she actually lights the whole cigarette the whole day.
They keep making a big deal because she's smoking, just because, you know, when the other movies were made in the 70s, it was still okay for people to smoke.
Yeah.
So
well, actually, Lois did smoke in the comic books. It was she smoked in the comic books to a certain point, and then she quit. And that is a big comic book. It's when you write 6 million comic books about
We're going to take one more break, and we'll be back to wrap up with the Superman review real soon. Yeah. So come on back, and we'll put this as a video response too.
Peace.